Okay, so today we're going to take care of a problem that one of the subscribers had said about in one of the comments, how the truck jumps up and down. Now, I took this truck apart, put it back together, a couple days ago, between one of the runs. I added some stuff to it when I put it back together. I had switched the center rods with the outer two rods, which then put the pinion angle, instead of pointing towards the top like it's supposed to, giving a nice angle, I gave it a really harsh angle on the bottom. So today we're going to hopefully remedy that problem and fix it. So first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take off your wheels. Now, make sure when you take off your wheels, now I know for some of you this is going to be common knowledge, but I'm also making this video for the new guys that are just getting into this, maybe not knowing exactly how everything works. So you want to slide it off. Make sure you do not lose this little pin that's in here, because if you lose that pin, then you no longer have all your wheels spinning. You no longer have full-wheel drive. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start taking these links out. And what I like to do, now you don't have to, of course, but what I love to do is use a magnetic tray, kind of like this one. That way you keep your screws there and you're not dropping them on the floor or losing them somewhere and taking twice as long to get stuff done. And from the looks of it, this screw does not want to cooperate. So you'll notice here, you got two different lengths. So it's looking like if I put the longer lengths on the inside, we will get a better pinion angle. And it looks like we're going to have to take the other short one out. I was hoping there'd be enough flex, but I was wrong. So we'll go ahead and take this one out. We'll get this one put back in. All right, now we can put our shorter one in. Now, when you put these in, you want to make sure they're good and snug, but not over tightened. Because if you over tighten them, you'll end up ruining the threads. Then you're going to be in a lot more trouble than you were before. I know this from experience. Okay, so now let's start on the other side. Again, making sure we don't lose the pin that's up inside here. And, like I said, not losing the pin, which is falling right there. And any of you other guys that run these mountain style shocks or any of these shocks at the base screws up on, let me know if there's any way to keep them from screwing off. At this point, I'm just going to end up gluing them unless somebody has a better way of doing it. So there's those. Okay, and another thing you want to do is make sure before you hook everything up completely that your dry shaft is connected. Because I have put these all back together, then realized that they were not connected. Then you got to take it all back apart sometimes to get them connected, and it's just a lot of wasted work and time. It also helps if you don't have chubby fingers, but I can't do anything about that. Okay, we'll get this top one in. Now sometimes these are a little tricky. You got to wiggle them around a little bit to get them to pop into place where you want them. And you can see, as of even right now, that pinion angle is a lot better. It's got that uphill instead of downhill. Now that being said, if you have too much uphill, you'll end up running into the same problem with binding. And I would suggest, if you're doing a lot of these, to go ahead and get one of these dynamite screwdrivers. Let me see if I can get that to focus there. They are great. The tips are magnetic, so it makes it a lot easier, most of the time, to get your screws into place. And I wouldn't say it stops you completely from losing screws, but it sure helps. All right. Now one more on this side. And that dang drive shaft fell out again. So I'll try to stick my big fingers down in there and put it back on again. If any of you guys have tips or tricks for this part too, let me know. And I'm sorry that my big fingers and hands are getting in the way of what you're trying to look at. There we go. There's one side. And we will do the other side here. Now, hopefully, if you can see, the pinion angle is pretty steep now in the opposite direction. So I'm hoping when we set it down on its wheels, some of that weight should even it back out. Okay, so next, you're going to want to put your pins back in if they fell out. Or, honestly, I would suggest taking them out so you don't lose them. So these pins are going to go in this hole right here. Now what I try to do is push till it's halfway out one side and halfway out the other. Kind of like that. So then you'll see underneath your tire, this slot right here is where those need to go. And you'll know when it goes in because you'll pop down low enough that you can put your nut on. You guys can also laugh at my expense as I fumble with this wheel lug to get it on, because apparently my fingers don't fit down in there. Now here's another one where you want it snug but not too tight, because you can snap these spindles off. And that is not something you want to do. Not that it's a hard job to fix. Actually, in one of our upcoming videos, I will show you how to take apart the axle and fix one of those when and if you do break one. So again, we'll put our little dial in there. Put it about halfway. Go down, pop it on. Put our nut on. And snug her up. All right. Now, even looking at it there, that is still not going to work. We still have too high of a pinion angle. So what I'm going to attempt to do is move the outside ones, I'm thinking back one notch. Should fix that problem. Let me see here. Yeah, because our pinion is still not happy at all. Well, I cannot move those back one notch because there's nothing to screw into. So, I will get right back with you. Okay, so I'm back. After looking at it over, the only way I could get the pinion angle to stay straight and the way that I want it is I had to move everything back one hole, which would be fine. But if you look at mine, I have an aftermarket motor in mine. So you have to remove this bar when you put an aftermarket motor in. So what I was able to do was put a screw from the back side out, then cut the tip off of one of the hood tie downs and use that basically as a nut to hold that side on. Now this is not going to be a permanent solution. I'm going to look in to see if I can find nuts that are that small and do it the right way. But as you can see, the pinion angle itself is pretty good. You just got a nice slant upward. So you can probably see it better from this angle. You got a nice slant upward. The differential isn't pointed up or down drastically. So this should help out our hop problem. So right now I will put the body back on and we will take it over for a test drive going up the hills, and we'll see what's going on. Now, the body is not the same as you have seen it in the past. It got a paint job. Now I know there's some guys that don't like the patina look. I'm normally one of those guys, but for this setup, I thought it would be pretty cool to have something like that for our off-road course. So I will get this back together and we'll be back with you with the test run. Now my truck is also different than most of the other ones. I have a 4-pin setup versus just the pins in the front. That way it's easier for me to take my body on and off. I know it's kind of a rigged job, but I kind of like the fact that I can take the body off completely to get in to show you guys different angles and stuff as we work on the truck. Okay, so now that we got that back in order, let's see how well the truck does up hills. So far so good. Here comes the steep hill. We got a lot less bounce now, so I don't think we're getting any binding. With that rear drive shaft. Now it is shaky going down, but I think that's just the truck trying to hold itself back. I don't think that has much to do with the pinion angle itself. see how it does on the other side. This side is where we got a lot of hop. It looks like we're still getting some hop. It doesn't look as though it's as bad. So I'll have to keep an eye out for more binding. At one point, we are going to build a whole new chassis for this truck. That's going to have the different high clearance pieces instead of these ones. So hopefully we can get rid of some of that hop and bind with the new chassis. Well, I can see one problem right now. We got a wobbly rear wheel. It may not be on very perfect. So I'll take a look at that and I will get back with you guys. But I think this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for coming to watch. If you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe. And thank you for coming. Hope to see you next video.